Number 3 is going to be the Knicks' physicality in this series. Here's the thing about Cleveland. They are huge, but they are not a good rebounding team. Bottom 10 in basketball in terms of rebounding. And the reason for that, I think, is because their guards are really small, their wings are just not very good rebounders, and their bigs are skinny. Though they are big, they are skinny, and they can be handled if you're physical with them. And it's going to require a commitment to physicality on the Knicks' part. They showed flashes of it over the course of the 4 games in the Cleveland series, and I'm going to show you a few of them. One particular target is Evan Mobley, because I think as good as he is and as promising as he is still raw and skinny, and you can be very physical with him and limit him by doing so. Here's an example. Brunson with a drive. Now, Mitch does a great job of this. Is the way he gets a lot of his offensive rebounds. Is he actually has inside position because he's often in the dunker spot, and he pushes guys out in order to clear him. And that's what he's going to do to Mobley here. Watch this. And Mobley collapses like one of those. I don't have a good metaphor. Like someone who collapses. And that's what Mitch has to do, especially Mitchell Robinson, who in some ways in this series is the less preferred center, because I think the ability to pass is going to be very important from the center spot, and I think the ability to show pretty far up the floor on defense, which is something Hartenstein's a little more comfortable with. But here's what Mitch can do, is that clip is be an absolute beast on the offensive glass and manhandle guys like Mobley and, to a lesser extent, Allen as well. Here he comes. Watch. He's locked up with Stevens here. He's going to get him out of the way. Puts one hand on Mobley. Gets the board. Knicks reset. It's an every possession commitment for Mitch because every extra possession is key. This is the end of the second quarter. Watch here again. Inside position as Mobley comes and helps. Here comes Mitch. Times it beautifully and gets the tip in before the buzzer. That's the type of effort the Knicks are going to require. They've functioned and thrived all year by winning the possession battle, a big part of that being the offensive glass. They get efficient offense on the offensive glass. It's going to have to be a feature here against the Cavs. Brunson again on the drive, Mobley kind of showing help. Mitch again, see that inside position. And watch what he does. He starts to push out. Mobley can't handle that physicality. See him again kind of buckling. And all he can do is kind of stick out his butt. That's going to be a foul. Another extra possession for the Knicks as Mitch goes down in a heap. Hey, it's going to require some sacrifice. Now, Julius is another one. Hopefully, he's playing from the get-go. What happens sometimes is, especially off of kind of broken plays, you get these mismatches where Garland or even Mitchell will end up in a guarding Randall. If they switch to Brunson pick and roll, for example, there are other reasons why this might happen. When that does happen, the Knicks must go hard to the glass. Watch what Julius does to Garland here. Just manhandles him. And then Mobley not able to match that physicality down low. A little brush off with the shoulders by Julius. That's the kind of attitude he's got to have. Big time. Watch Julius here. This is one of my favorite plays of the season. I'm not kidding. Because, talk about physicality. Brunson on the drive. Watch what he does to Jericho Sims. Jericho, out of my way. Shoves his own man. Gonna get that board. Here he goes. Gets Allen in the air. Misses the first shot. Watch this. Levert tries to get this ball, disposes of him. Rubio tries to get the ball, disposes of him, just knocking one guy up, down after another, staring, talking to the bench. That's the Julius we need. That's the Julius we need. A healthy Julius can absolutely physically manhandle this Cavs team, which is a pretty small team, a tall team down low, no doubt. But in terms of physicality, in terms of width, not that big and can be taken advantage of. Another way to be physical with Mobley is on the defensive end. And I thought Julius generally did a good job one-on-one with Mobley, imposing his physicality, imposing his strength. Watch Mobley try to post him here. Julius, just see how down low he's really pressuring him, and that's going to knock Mobley off of his spot and a little bit off balance and force a really tough shot. That's the type of defense you want to play against Evan Mobley. And this one I love even more because it's the early work that ruins a possession. This is not, Mobley's not trying to ISO or score here, but they're trying to set up a play by getting Mobley involved. But watch Julius here from the moment he catches, and look how deep he had to catch it. And watch, again, how low he gets. He's putting pressure on Mobley's lower body. He pokes the ball away, being super physical with a guy who's not as strong, again, all over him. So that the Cavs, by the time they finally get the play they want, there's only 10 on the clock. There's not much they can do and operate with, and it's going to force a pretty tough contested three and an air ball. So playing with that kind of physicality on the defensive end on Mobley, just as important. So it's offensive rebounding on the offensive end, imposing your will when you can. And on the defensive end, putting the pressure, especially on Mobley, but really on all the Cavs, being physical, imposing your strength that you have. And that's an advantage for the Knicks. They're a stronger team. They're a larger team from 1 to 5. So I think it's going to be an important key.